Chapter 14. As I started 8th grade, I eventually thought less and less about America. Like I said, in a refugee camp, life goes on. I kept myself busy. I had a new grade and new teachers to occupy my thoughts. Hassan hadn't had another seizure. He seemed to be happy, caring for Brownie and helping Miriam. But whenever I thought I'd forgotten about America, something would remind me. Omar, wake up. I have good news. Are we being resettled? We're going to America? America? No, it's Brownie. She's pregnant. Brownie? The goat? Yes, that means we'll have 3 or 4 goats to milk soon, God willing. Where are you going? I'm going to fetch the water. I got so angry all of a sudden. Angry at myself for getting my hopes up. I was still stuck here, and I was supposed to be happy about some stupid goats. Huyo! No, you stay here. You'll just slow me down. I'm tired of you slowing me down. I tried not to see the hurt and surprised look on Hassan's face. Omar! Nemo? Omar, my family got our second interview. Did you get yours too? Do you think it's really happening that we're going to America? I never thought it would really happen. How did you hear about your interview? Who told you? Tal Salan told my brother last night. Omar, where are you going? Sir, I heard Nemo's family was on the list for a second interview. Was I? Did we? No, Omar. I didn't hear anything from the UN officer about your case. Are you sure? Maybe. The only names on the list this week were Nemo's family and Abdikarim's, my soccer friend. So his family had gotten a second interview too? The list comes out every week. As a community leader, I always find out if someone here is on the list. I'll send the word moment I hear anything. That fever that I thought had gone away, it fired up inside me and took hold of me again, worse than ever. Going to America became all I could think about. I'm sure we'll be on the list next week. They can probably only do a certain number of interviews per week. Our names must be on the list. But our names weren't on the list the next week. Or the next. Or the next. I slid deeper and deeper into a dark hole. Not only that, but I felt like I had a darkness growing inside me too. It made me feel angry and mean, and I took it out on the people I loved most. I could barely look at Nemo anymore, let alone talk to her. I pretended I didn't notice that she was quieter and sadder than I'd ever seen her. I pretended not to know when her family went for her second interview. Or their third. I pretended not to listen when kids at school asked her about it. When do you leave for America? We're not going to America. We're being resettled to Canada. I have to go. Wait, Omar, please talk to me. I'm sorry it's me and not you. I'm sorry it's not Miriam. It's not fair. Please, Omar, forgive me. I pretended not to see she was torn up inside with guilt. I turned my back on her. I pretended not to know that I put Jerry in a tough spot between us. She really does feel bad, you know. If you just tell her you're happy for her, that you don't blame her for anything. Oh, sure, like that was easy for you to do when you thought I was going to America. Now that I'm stuck here, all of a sudden you're full of good advice. Maybe you're not stuck here. Maybe you'll still go. The UN, shut up! You know it's not true. It's been months now. And what's more, I felt the meanness billow up inside me. What's more, you're happy I'm not going to America. You're glad I'm stuck here in the refugee camp with you. I'm trying to make you feel better. I'm your friend. That's more than I can say for you. I haven't even had one interview yet, and you don't even care. Oh, he's fucking off mad. I was spreading the darkness around me, infecting everyone in my path. And the person I cared about most in the world got the worst of it. Hassan almost always helps me with the chores these days, but now, when I feel so angry, I get impatient. No, Hassan, go back home. Stay with Fatuma. Go. Leave me alone. Go! Hassan, Omar, what's going on here? Are you two fighting? It's none of your business, Miriam. It is my business if you're being mean to everyone in this block just because you're angry. You don't understand. You don't know what it's like to be so close to your dreams, and then it's as if the darkness swept away from my eyes, and for the first time in weeks, I noticed someone besides myself. Miriam, your belly. You're not the only one with dreams to leave this place, you know. I could have gotten that scholarship to Canada, and now Nemo is leaving without me. And now, what if this baby is a girl? I know one thing for sure, she will not be forced to quit school to get married. I will see to that. The anger and the fight seemed to leave all three of us at once. It's not fair, Omar. Why do some people get to leave and we're stuck here? I don't know, Miriam. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Life isn't fair. But I know your daughter will be lucky because she'll have you for a mom. I thought back to what Jerry told me years ago. None of us ask to be born where we are or how we are. The challenge of life is to make the most out of what you've been given. And despite all of the things I don't have, I have been given something very important. The love of others is a gift from God, and it shouldn't be taken for granted. I'm sorry, Hassan. Sorry, Miriam. Come on, let's go talk to Nemo. Nemo met us at the swing for old time's sake. So, you're really going to Canada? Yeah, I never thought I'd be going without you, Miriam. Look on the bright side. Now you can paint your bedroom green like you wanted. Stop joking. It isn't funny. I don't care about a stupid color. I know, Nemo. I know. It's not fair. None of this is fair. It should be you, Miriam, or you, Omar. Why me? You are going to do great things in Canada, Nemo. We believe in you. It's okay. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. Everything will be okay. Apologizing to Jerry was harder for some reason. Just go talk to him. But every time I tried, I chickened out. Jerry was my best friend, and yet I'd been so focused on myself the past few weeks, I never once thought about how he was feeling. Shame burned hot in my chest. This wasn't the first time I'd been so selfish. Why on earth would he keep taking a friend like me back? The night before Nemo and her family left, the entire block came by her family's home to say goodbye. I always imagined if I left Dadam, I'd be laughing and feeling like the happiest person in the world. But everyone in Nemo's family was crying. For the first time, it truly dawned on me how scary this must be for Nemo. Dadaab may be a refugee camp, but it's the only home we'd ever really known. Huyo! 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 Hey, stop! Come back! Hassan! Hey, Hassan. Hassan, calm down, buddy. It's okay. He's happy to see you. Yeah, somehow I got that. Cherry, I know. I've been a horrible friend to Jerry. No one would want a friend like me. But the good news was we weren't friends. We were brothers. And the thing about a brother is you don't need words to understand each other. Part 3. 4 years later. This is me now. I look pretty much the same at 17 as I did when I was 13. Not even that much taller, unfortunately. Jerry is taller, though. Much taller. Jerry and I both passed our KCPE exam, so we're among the few students in an A2 from our grade to go to high school. I'm really proud of that. The KCP is the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education. These are the long and difficult exams you have to pass in order to attend a high school. The whole neighborhood is proud of us for going to high school. We're kind of like local celebrities. Fatuma, Hassan. Fatuma's asleep. That means Hassan must be with Miriam. I start a fire to heat up dinner. I change out of my uniform. I wash it every night to keep it looking nice and crisp. Even though I passed my exams, I almost didn't get to go to high school because I couldn't afford a uniform. Luckily, Susana Martinez, the Spanish UN worker who visited my middle school, she came looking for me when she heard I passed my KCPE exams. I think Michael told her. When she learned I couldn't buy a uniform, she bought one for me. I couldn't believe she remembered me and wanted to help. Sometimes I think Fatuma is right. You just try your best, and God will find a way to help you when you need it. Hoo-yah! Hassan is also and bigger. Miriam is bigger too. Again. Hassan still spends time with Miriam nearly every afternoon. She's especially grateful for his help these days. Hassan is very attentive to little Nemo, and he loves playing with her. Little Nemo takes after her namesake. Hi, Omar. Guess what we did today? We played on the swing. Guess what else? I can write my name. And guess what else? I can count to 10. Nemo's too young for school, but Miriam is already starting her education. Miriam still studies whenever she can. She even helps some of the neighborhood girls with their homework. I guess there is more than one way to become a teacher. Sounds like you're very smart, just like your mama. Maybe she'll earn that scholarship to Canada someday. Miriam looks proud, but sad too. Did you hear that Nemo's family called from Canada the other day? Ali from the market told me her mother was on the phone, and I was able to speak with Nemo for a few minutes. Nemo says it's really hard speaking English all the time. There are only a few other Somali families in her town. She also said that not everyone in Canada is rich, that life is not as easy as she thought. Some people there live out on the street. She even said she misses the food here in Dadaab. Can you believe that? No. It's hard to imagine that anyone would miss living in a refugee camp. And yet, it's the place I call home. Soon it's time for supper, and Miriam and Nemo head back. Bye-bye, Omar. Bye-bye, Hassan. I love you. I heat up our supper, and I wake Fatuma when it's ready. Fatuma is the only person, or the one person, who is not getting bigger. In fact, she seems to be shrinking. Before she even thinks of eating anything herself, she makes sure the goats have water. The goats are shrinking too. There isn't much grass for them to eat these days, and now that the camp is getting bigger and more crowded, resources like firewood and grass are harder to find. Fatuma frets and worries over them all the time. Jerry comes over to study almost every night after he checks on his mom and siblings, but his dad is hardly ever around anymore, so that's one thing he doesn't have to worry about. We have lots of homework in high school. Jerry shares his lamp, and I share the peace and quiet of my tent. Of course, peace and quiet is still a relative term. Hassan, buddy, we have a big paper due tomorrow, so keep it down, all right? This paper is for English class. I feel like I've had to write the same paper about 20 different times in all the years I've been in school. What it means to be a refugee. Geez, can't our teachers be a little more creative? Being a refugee means you don't have a home. I'm Somali, but I can't go back to Somalia. I can't stay here in Kenya. I'm stuck in the middle. Being a refugee means... Being a refugee means I'm always worried about my brother. He needs medical treatment, but the doctors here can't stop his seizures. He hasn't had one in a while, but who knows when the next one will happen. Being a refugee means I'm worried about Fatuma. I never thought about it as a kid, but why is she always so quiet? She looks worried and anxious all the time, like she's always thinking about something that upsets her. Being a refugee means I'm worried about my future. If I can't work, how can I support my family? Fatuma's getting weaker. How can I care for her and my brother and still earn money? Being a refugee means you don't really have a future. I hope that peace comes to Somalia so I can go back to my country and support my family. Oh yeah, peace and love. Teachers always like when you write about that. Peace and love. Every day that passed brought me a little closer to my high school graduation, and that scared me. I liked learning. I didn't want to stop. Despite all those essays we wrote about what we wanted to be when we grew up, I still don't know if I could find a job. And if I couldn't find a job, what would I do to fill my time? I started seeing some of our former classmates hanging around the cot stand in the market, classmates like Tal Ali. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I understood the appeal of what sometimes when people are suffering and you can't do anything to help, you want to forget. Sometimes I feel so hopeless in this place. I don't think I can stand it. I'm so thankful for Jerry. At least we are here together. We'll always have each other's back. No! They run back. Fatuma, what's wrong? He was hungry, and I didn't have any food to give him. In all these years living in a refugee camp, I had never seen Fatuma cry about anything. And here she was crying about a goat. If I'd been a better mother, if I'd taken better care of him, he was innocent and sweet, and he didn't deserve to die. She sat there cradling her baby goat for a long time. It looked like the way she used to hold me and Hassan. The crying, the dead baby goat, so much sadness. It was all too much for Hassan. Hassan, stop, come back. You go after Hassan. I'll take care of everything here. It's been a long time since Hassan has run off like this. When he was little, it wasn't so hard to find him, but he's bigger and faster now. Hassan! Hassan! I searched for hours. Word started to spread that Hassan was missing. All of our neighbors came out to help. He likes to feed the donkeys in the market, or maybe the building pit, or maybe... No, it's too dark out in the bush. Too dangerous. He could meet all sorts of dangerous animals or people out there all alone. Omar, it's getting too dark. We'll have to wait until morning to continue the search. Ever since I got to the refugee camp, people have been telling me to wait. Wait for the war to be over. Wait to be resettled. Wait for the news of your mother. Tonight, I'm done waiting. I'm going to find my brother. I walked and walked and walked. As morning broke, I reached the next camp over, the Gali camp. I asked everyone I met if they had seen my brother. No luck. The Gali camp was a lot like Ifo camp. Big families living in small tents, long lines for water, the same loudspeaker that 5 times a day called everyone to prayer just like us. I started to feel hopeless in this endless sea of refugees. There were so many of us, thousands of us, hundreds of thousands. What hope was there for us, for any of us, to find what we were searching for? Attention to the young man looking for your brother. Your brother is here. He is safe. Come to the fruit stand in the market. Again, to the young man searching for your brother. He is safe. He is here. I'm looking for... Is he here? Ah, so you are the young man looking for your brother. Come with me. He is safe at my home. I met your brother late last night. He was wandering around the market. He couldn't tell me his name or where he was from, but I figured someone would come looking for him. Then this morning my neighbor tells me a young man was looking for his brother. I guess that's you. My wife is caring for him now. Munira, we have a visitor. I thought I lost you. But I didn't lose him. We still had each other. Please, have some tea with us. Sometimes, when life feels like it's at its lowest. This is our daughter, Zarura. God will deliver you an answer, and you'll find a path out of the darkness. The kindness of strangers, the promise of new friends. Life is always the same in a refugee camp, except when it's not. Sometimes your life can change in an instant, but you can never be sure if it's a good change or a bad change. Hello, Salan. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Miriam. Susanna, why are you here? I don't understand. Fatuma, is everyone here because Hassan is back? No, Omar. Everyone is here because you will be leaving. Your names are on the list with the UN. You're going back for a second interview to be resettled to America.